Welcome to Trendz Travel. Well, it's that time of the year where we cut down on certain foods and hit the gym. We kick it off with a fitness session with Ruan Skippers. Next, we get a few lessons on how to play golf. We traveled all the way to Mossel Bay for some fun and adventure, and most exciting was a gin masterclass. Are you looking at redecorating your home? Well, stay tuned because we will be looking at some fun and functional art pieces. All that and so much more.
Team Tropical are the winners of Tropical Island of Treasure All-Stars!
No, it's different, you know. You think when you look at it on TV, when you watch the show at home, it looks like it could be easy in a sense. But, you know, I came to find out that it's not as easy as it looks. Spending so much time away from your friends, from your family, with strangers, as you might say, it takes a toll. And especially with the stress of the games and from our position being the underdogs, it was very mentally draining and yeah, it took a lot.
Okay, so did you prepare for that or did it take you totally by surprise?
You know, I prepared as best as I could. I went in there a bit overconfident, if I have to say so myself. But, you know, I had a big support system. There's a proverb that says it takes a village to move a mountain, and it really did. I had my girlfriend and my friends and everyone behind me at home trying to support me, keeping me there. Caroline, at least, she was like really great. And yeah, no, I tried to prepare as best as I could, but there's no way until you're there. Eh? Yeah. Okay,
so we know you to be a fitness person. You are very much into training. So maybe tell us what kind of training. Did you go more intense with your training before you went?
So I used to just train with weights and a little bit of cardio. I picked up on the cardio before I went to the island because there's a lot of running, there's a lot of swimming. I started incorporating a bit of swimming because, you know, no one wants to drown on TV. But yeah, it was good. It was good. You have to be fit, you have to be mentally fit, and you have to be able to endure. You have to push yourself.
All right, so let's talk diet. Talk diet, especially right now we are in the festive season and we're going to be overindulging.
Going into the festive season, I think everything, there's a time and a place for everything. You know, as long as you eat in moderation compared to what you do, you should be fine. Some piece of advice I would give people is the more protein, the better. You know, it's really is better because your muscles use the protein to build, and the more muscle you have to build, or muscle you have, the more energy you use. So then you burn fat much faster.
So more braai meat.
More braai meat. That's like December.
And then we went on the treadmill for a quick warm-up.
Okay, so first of all, we're going to do some simple exercises that you can do anywhere, at home, at the beach, on holiday. Firstly, we're going to do some squats, we're going to do some lunges, and then we're going to be doing some burpees. It's going to be fun.
Working out with a model is not easy, but this is something you can do in front of the TV. Get the whole family involved, you know, make it a challenge, have some fun with it. Well, as you saw, we've just finished our workout with Ruan, and as much as it didn't take a long time, it did get the heart pumping. So this is something that you must absolutely try during the holidays. Instead of overindulging, you can take a walk, like he said, out on the street and get some fresh air. That way it will balance your mindset as well. So this is from us. Bye-bye.
So today we are playing golf at the Culinary Country Club here in Johannesburg.
So at Culinary Country Club, we've got a golf course where you can book on our website for 9 holes in the morning or for 18 holes, really up to you how much you would like to play. We've got a gym, we've got squash courts, we've got tennis courts, we've got paddle, we've got bowling greens, we've got soccer. So we're a full country club.
So if you don't have anything that you're doing, just like me, wake up one morning, go to a country club and play some golf. I've never done it before. I don't know much about golf. I'm just going to learn today. There's a first time for everything, right? Jess is going to help us over here. Jess, welcome to Trendz.
Hi, thank you for having us and welcome to Culinary Country Club.
Thank you. For how long have you been playing golf?
So I've been playing golf since about the age of 7, I'd say comfortably. However, I mean, you know, the ups and downs of golf, I can't really say it's been full years, but that's it.
So would you compete with Tiger Woods?
I mean, I could take him a run, but well, we never know.
Is it for everyone? How does it work? Help us. What is golf?
So golf is not only for the rich and wealthy, for the businessmen out there. It is all about having fun on the course, spending some time out in the sun, getting that energy and just having a good time.
Before we start with the lesson, what's going to happen?
So your coach is going to tell you, okay, get your clubs ready, put your balls in place, line yourself up, and then take it away. And off you go and you swing the club, you hit the ball, and you hope for the best.
I'm told that when it comes to golf, the dress code is very, very much strict. There's a specific dress code for a golf game. What's the proper dressing etiquette for a golf game?
So the proper etiquette for golf is a collared shirt is very important. No jeans, no cargo shorts, no sweatpants. Obviously no open shoes. You'd go with your golf shoes or tackies perhaps if you don't have golf shoes. But most importantly, no jeans on the golf course. Please, no jeans on the golf course. Firstly, you'll die of heat, and secondly, it's just not the proper etiquette.
Conrose was right. The worst day at golf still beats the best day at work.
Recently, craft distilleries have opened their doors to the public, curating masterclasses where beverage lovers can create their own signature alcohol. We visited this beautiful distillery in Mossel Bay where we made our own gins.
Over the last couple of years, we've seen gin gain massive popularity in the market, and that resulted to a lot of handcrafted gins being introduced to us. Go to Google, you will find a recipe. Today, I'll be making my own gin and learn the science behind it. Crossing fingers, I still remember the steps when I get home.
You all are making your very own 500 ml bottle of handcraft gin today, under our supervision, but once again, it's all about you today. We are going to explain to you the flavors that's in front of you. So please, I know some of you are here to all, it's about you making your gin, but please, there is notes that you have to listen to, otherwise your gin is not going to be gin of the year, it's going to be gin for next year, all right?
According to the experts, alchemy is 95% creativity and 5% science. Sounds good to me. First, you need to pick your own alcohol base, which comes in 3 different flavors: citrus, herbal, and floral. Thereafter, you are presented with a variety of notes, but you can only pick 5, which you think will blend perfectly with your alcohol base. A very tricky but interesting process. Add all the ingredients together and cook for about 45 minutes. The first 10 ml to come out of the pot has to be discarded due to potency. The rest is then diluted with water and voila, your gin is ready. Perhaps not for drinking, but ready to be bottled and stored for special occasions. A really fun and informative experience, something you must add on to your 2023 bucket list.
No matter how much lodges and hotels are being developed around the world, there are still some basic requirements that all travelers look forward to, and that's simple, tasty food. After recently sharing our stay at the Biela Game Lodge, we had a chance to get to know the head chef, Melissa Zungu. Of course, we were treated to a few of her meals during our stay, and honestly, we were thoroughly impressed with the quality of the food and the attention to detail that she puts into the menu. Here's how a day in the life of a game reserve chef looks like.
While being a chef at a game lodge, I must say it's very enjoyable. You get to meet new guests. You get to be more creative, and you're given a space of time where you can just enhance all the beauty of preparing game meats, preparing fresh vegetables. So I'm currently enjoying being a head chef here at BLA Lodge.
When did you realize your passion for food?
Well, I was inspired by my mother. My mom is a very, very good cook. So at an age of, I was 9 years old, I started setting tables at home whenever we're having dinner, and then it grew into chefing. So 10 years ago, I went to the International Hotel School where I studied in the Culinary Arts, Christina Martins, and the love of being a chef has started then, like way before.
Where do we get the meat? Where do you source the food? The decision behind the type of meal, the creativity behind it, where do you get it?
As you can see, we have a very beautiful scenery outside where you're by the river. So we'll obviously have some seafood for you guys. We'll have game meat, but it's not from the actual animals around here. It is from a local butcher where we'll serve kudu, we'll serve veal de biesta, we'll serve springbok. And then the inspiration of the food is more of a light menu during lunch and a nice full breakfast during your breakfast times. And then for dinner, we go fine dining where we give you an exquisite plating and you feel like you're in France.
How important is teamwork when you work as a chef?
It's very important, vitally important. I always tell my guests when I go out, they say, "Oh, well done, chef." I'm like, I would like to take the credit, but it's not only me. It's a team full of people. There is a griller, there is someone who does vegetables. Me working in the past, I'm just here to control how they work, but all the work is done by my fellow commie chefs, CDPs and all that. So in the kitchen we have a different brigade. Everyone knows what they need to do. So it's very vital working in a team where everyone fully understands their roles, because in the kitchen you need to know if you are busy with the meat, you are dealing with the meat. If someone is dealing with the vegetables, they're dealing with the vegetables. If someone is dealing with the pastry, they're dealing with the pastry. Everyone has a fairly important role in the kitchen.
The Garden Route in the Western Cape is known for its beauty and splendor. One of the towns on the Garden Route is Mossel Bay, a stunning holiday destination. You're even luckier if you get to live here. We've visited the museum to get some historical background.
We're in Mossel Bay, and this vessel over here is a replica of the type of ships that the first Portuguese sailors used to travel on. Coming from Portugal all the way to India, the whole thing was to go and get spices from the east. So this is a replica of the Caravel, which is one of the ships that Bartholomew Diaz, the first sailor to come around, and this is the kind of ships that they actually used. So this gives you an idea of how people were traveling back then. No navigation, you had to be super clever, be able to use the stars and rely on good weather to make it all the way around a huge continent like Africa.
So maybe let's talk briefly about how Mossel Bay came about.
Okay, so Mossel Bay was actually accidentally found. Going around the Cape, the whole idea was obviously to go to India, but they never actually made it that far. And, at the time there was a bit of confusion as to where exactly they were. The idea was to try and find Cape Town, so down at Cape Point and Cape of Good Hope. And they actually figured out that they were on the wrong side of the African continent, and this is where they actually landed. So Bartholomew Diaz and his crew, shame, they only lasted one day before they actually got stoned back onto the ship, and they had to then retreat and go back home, and that's how they eventually mapped out the whole southern coastline, and they got the Cape of Good Hope, which is what he wanted to term it. And when he got back to the King of Portugal at the time, they were really not happy with the Cape of Storms. Sorry, he wanted to term it the Cape of Storms. They were not happy with that, and they decided on the Cape of Good Hope, so that more people would travel by and more people will come by and feel safe traveling around the southern tip of the continent.
So what is Mossel Bay like these days?
So Mossel Bay now has been revived. There's a lot of tourism activity happening. There's a lot of fun things to do. There's a big emphasis on tourism as an industry and fun things to do in Mossel Bay. So now, holiday time, busiest time. So December going to January, loads of family. There's a lot of family-friendly things to do. There's also a lot of safaris and wildlife just on the outskirts of Mossel Bay, and of course, beautiful beaches.
When we say South Africa is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, we mean it.
Hey Trendz, we're out in Johannesburg, in Marvel, looking at beautiful views and celebrating functional art. I'm here with Culinary and Loha here to tell us a bit more about Nemo, their brand, and what the celebration is all about. How are you guys doing?
Good. Thank you for interviewing us today.
Oh, no, thank you so much for inviting us. Loha, tell us a bit about Nemo. What is it?
So Nemel is a lifestyle brand that focuses so much on art, fashion and furniture, and we focus on telling authentic South African stories through our talents and our interests, which is our love for interior, our love for art and our love for fashion.
So I heard that you guys this year bagged a couple of awards. Tell us all about it, shine. Let us know about what you are doing within the space and how you're tapping into all these various art forms.
So to go back to the point of the awards, this exhibition in itself is an extension of what we did at an art fair in South Africa, and that's what we won an award for. We won Best New Talent for 100% Design, and I think it was such a great honor for us to win that award because it literally just said to us, you guys are able, and if you are able, do what it is that you want to do.
So how did the concept come about? Is one of you like a carpenter and the other one is like into fashion, and I was like, okay, let's do it this way. Who's gonna take this one?
I can take it. So Kinele studied interior design, and then we met a couple of years ago, and I got an interest in photography and fashion. Well, yeah, I did get an interest in May first. But we just loved working together and creating pieces together, and we spent our Saturdays taking pictures, remaking furniture, cleaning furniture, and one day Kinelo was like, baby, we doing this, and the rest is history.
And how do you get to say, okay, this is what we're packaging it as, and we are sure that the world is gonna love it? What gave you that confidence to say, actually, we really are doing it and it's gonna work out?
I think the both of us don't actually work off whether people are going to like something or not. It's merely just doing something that we love and putting it out there. And if people receive it well, then it's a bonus for us. If they don't, then it's a work in progress. It just tells you that you need to work a little bit more on what you're doing and perfect it a little bit more. So it's merely just putting passion projects out there, and surprisingly enough, so far so good. People have received it well. I mean, we did win an award. So I think people are receiving it very, very well, and I'm just so happy for that. But then also in South Africa, people are more open to design and exploring the world of design. So yeah.
Today we are particularly looking at a collection called The Hut. Can you break that down for us and just make me understand what I'm seeing?
So the hut is a celebration of African architectures. These are dwellings our people used to live in, and it inspired us so much that we created a chair to commemorate or sort of celebrate African dwellings. And in the hut, you always have a beautiful drink. And Stella Atwa came in and said, hey guys, let's celebrate and drink a drink together, because we celebrate handcraft, we celebrate brewery, we celebrate South African designers, and now they're also celebrating furniture. So that's how the hut came about.
Yeah.
And if we look at design or interior trends for 2022, what would you say is that if you were to forecast how 2023 will be like, what's that staple that everyone kind of needs to have if they're into that kind of vibe?
I think definitely textiles are never going out of style. The color terracotta is a staple color in 2022. It's one of our base color palettes. But also, one thing I'd actually say to people is they mustn't necessarily follow trends, but rather buy into product that is long term and work around it that way.
You heard it from us first. These are the founders of Nemo, and yeah, we're here to celebrate with them. So we'll see you on the flip side.
Cheers.
Peace. Cheers.
What an amazing show, right? Well, let's talk about it on Twitter. It's @Trendz on SABC. Thank you for watching.